One of the key components on a MegaEdit product is the canvas. So in the design world, canvases represent the dimension of the product. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to create a canvas within our storefront configuration and how to assign it to our MegaEdit product. So a canvas can be a fixed size or it can have a dynamic sizing controllable by the customer. This tutorial will show where to set up the dynamic sizing option. So what we need to do first of all is to look at how to manage our MegaEdit resources. So a MegaEdit product page contains a drop-down list on the top right, which allows direct access to MegaEdit resources specified on your storefront. So we can access this by going to our catalog, product types, and MegaEdit. And then we'll start off on the MegaEdit products. So this is the list I was talking about on the top right, where you can get to the different resources. You can also get to the same series of resources in that same list to do with your MegaEdit product types. So these elements here are exactly the same as the quick access elements here. It's just a different way for you to access the same information. So we're going to start off by going to the canvas options. And then at the moment, all we have is a sample canvas that was created in a previous tutorial, just to make sure that our product was ready to go. So any canvas specification already defined on your storefront is going to be shown here. So what we need to remember is that we can create canvases, and those are not going to be product specific. You can create a canvas and then utilize that on multiple products. So you create the canvas separate from the products, and then assign them to your products that require those particular canvases. So what we're going to make first is just a really simple static sized canvas. So if we go to add new in the top right corner, and there's a few basic bits of information here that we need. The first bit is a canvas name. So this is just the name that will appear throughout Infigo in association with this particular canvas. So as I say, we'll make an A4 portrait canvas as an example here. And then it's a case of defining the canvas size. So if you come further down, you'll see that you have a direct entry of width and height if necessary. Alternatively, you can select from some pre-configured dimensions in this drop-down list here. So these are your standard A sizes in both portrait and landscape. So if we pick A4 portrait, for example, and click on set, you can see that those sizes are altered based on those selections. I'm then going to click on save, and that canvas is now specified. So we'll take a look at how that actually appears on our particular product. So what I want to do first is to make sure that this canvas that we've just created is now available on our product. So I can do this by going to our MegaEdit products section, which is also available in this resource links drop-down. I'm going to open that up in a separate tab. Locate my MegaEdit product and go to edit on the right hand side. And then we'll go into the canvas tab. So this is where you specify the canvas or canvases that can be utilized by this particular product. You'll see that I already have my sample canvas selected, so I could deselect that if I wish to do so. If I want to allow this A4 portrait as an additional option, then I can select this one as well and hit Save Changes. And then when I load up my MegaEdit product landing page, so I already have this open on a separate screen, so I'll just refresh it. What you'll find is that if I have one canvas available, just one single canvas, then this drop down won't be available because there's no variation in canvases required. So all you would do is hit start. However, in our case, we have multiple canvases available. So I have the ability to choose between those canvas options before I launch the MegaEdit editor. Next, we're going to specify a canvas which allows for dynamic sizing by the storefront customer. So we'll begin by creating a canvas using the same steps as we saw previously. So we'll just go for add new and then write in the name of a canvas. So I might just put dynamic canvas. The pre-configured dimension is not critical here, so I'm just going to leave that as it is by default and click on save. I'm then going to locate the canvas that we just created and click on edit underneath that canvas option. Now there's a few tabs available here. All we're going to worry about in this tutorial is the canvas properties. And you can see that the vast majority of the canvas properties here are to do with the dynamic size. So all we need to do to allow the customer to choose their own size of canvas is to specify minimum and maximums for the width and the height, and then the width and height step. So the intervals between the different steps between the minimum and maximum. So let's make something quite generic here. Let's say minimum 100, maximum 1000. Same with the height. You can specify your unit, so you don't have to use millimeters. And then when you're actually specifying the canvas size on the product landing page, it will convert between the units that you specified. I'll show you that in a moment. Then I've got width step and height step. So maybe I'll go for 100 millimeters in my case. I also have the option here for the same size for all pages. So if you do want to allow different sizes for each individual page that you add, you can deselect that option. So with those options specified, I'm going to hit save. And then again, we'll have a look at how that appears on our MegaEdit product. So first I need to go to the product specifications. So from the drop-down list, right-click on products and open a new tab, just so we can keep this canvas screen open. Edit our MegaEdit product. Go to canvases and then select our dynamic canvas. Now, if you are allowing the customer to choose their own canvas size based on what we've just discussed, you can't have any additional canvas specifications. So I'm just going to uncheck those other two. So my dynamic canvas is the only option available. I'll click Save Changes, and then again, I'm going to reload the product landing page. And what you'll see there is that my drop-down list of distinct canvas choices has now been replaced by sliders and direct inputs of the canvas size. So I have a direct choice of those. It will recalculate the cost if we'd specified it based on these changes. And if you want to work in a different unit system, you can see that the scales update accordingly. And then once we have the canvas size specified, we can hit start and that will load the MegaEdit editor with that canvas size. We can then change the canvas size from within the editor itself. We're not just stuck with that particular canvas size then. This is just a starting point. Okay, so the next step here is going to be to generate a canvas with several size options. So to start off with, we're going to repeat the process same as before. So we're just going to go to our canvas screen. Remember, the easiest way to get to this is the drop-down list on the top right, or you can navigate to Catalog, Product Types, MegaEdit, and then MegaEdit Canvas. I'm going to add a new canvas option and then give this the name of multi-size canvas. So this is just for reference. You don't have to give it a particular name, of course. So although we're specifying different canvas sizes, we're not going to be able to alter the aspect ratio. So ensure that your initial specifications, so down here, match the ratio of your final canvas requirements. So for example, if I want a particular photo book or a particular A size of stock or a particular A size of canvas, then I can click on that required option and then hit set to define that dimension here. So let's go with a photo book, for example, 12 by 12 centimeters. Any change I make, so any additional canvas that we specify, is only going to be a scaling factor of this particular canvas. So we won't be able to completely alter the aspect ratio using this method. So I'll hit save. And then I'm going to go in and edit that canvas that we just created and scroll across to the Canvas Sizes tab. So we can add multiple canvas size records to a single canvas specification. Each record equates to a different canvas size selection. And we do this just by adding a new record, which will add new entries to this list down here. So you'll see we've already got one in there, which is our default, which is our initial size that we specified. I could say add new record, which will give me a new line here. So we're going to fill in the required data for this record. So we'll come back to the size factor field shortly. So we also need to remember to complete all of the factor fields, allowing you to modify product elements such as price or weight based on the selection of this canvas. So MegaEdit allows you to assign a price factor to your canvas, allowing you to modify the price depending on the canvas chosen. So the price factor will be how much the product's base price is multiplied by, meaning that if you were to leave the price factor as its default of 1, then the base price will be unaffected. If you change it to 1.5, then the base price will be multiplied by 1.5. So for example, if your product has a base price of £4 and you have a canvas price factor of 1.5, then the product you will end up with is a final price of £6. Remember to update the other price factor options to 1 if they're going to be unchanged. So we don't want to be left as 0. But these are price factors associated with the output type selection, with the number of pages, if the base weight is being adjusted, and so on. I'll give this a name and a description. So let's say factor 1.5. And then I'm going to scroll to the right-hand side and click on Insert. Now we have the ability to modify the size factor. So if I scroll to the left-hand side on the size factor column and hit Edit, you'll see here that we get this little pop-up window appearing. So this is where you adjust the factor, but remember that it's the same aspect ratio as the default sizing, meaning that we're just controlling a scale factor. So for example, if I start modifying this bar here, you can see that our new size is being calculated automatically and our factor is changing. I can also put in a number in here. So let's say our factor is just a 1.5 factor. You can see my new canvas size underneath, and then I can hit save. I can add as many different canvases as I like here, and then I can go back to list. And again, we'll have a look at how this appears on our actual product. So if I go to my product settings, same as we've seen a couple of times in this tutorial, Just going to refresh that so we have an updated canvas list. And then I'm going to make sure that I've got my multi-size canvas selected. So even though I've only got one canvas option selected here, when I view this on our product page, I will have two different canvas options available because that has two particular specifications. I can also double these up with other canvas types or other canvas specifications. So if I wanted to offer an A4 option in addition to these, I could also select our A4 portrait option that we created earlier on and then save that. And now that will also be available in our canvas options list.